I've always had a fascination with earthships, and I'm going to try to present one of my design ideas here. It's if you don't have a working knowledge of the basics of earthships that are built with rammed earth retained by tires, there's lots of videos out there showing the basics of it, and I might attach one of those to this. But I wondered what somebody could what type of a design they could build an earthship out of in areas where there weren't fairly good sized hills that you can recess back and into, maybe on flat ground or just in areas where there were gently rolling hills. So I came up with this design idea that I'd like to run past people that are familiar with earthships and get their impression of this particular design idea. So my design idea, we're going to start from a center point and create 4 different walls that are at equal distances from the center. We'll just say they split off at a T, 90 degrees going either direction. And then at the end of those walls, we're going to curve around at a 45-degree angle and then continue on straight. Imagine the center of this design being basically a plus shape, like the Red Cross, a plus shape in the center of the house itself. Now there's going to be, you have to have a uniform distance between the walls that protrude out. They have to be squared up, obviously. And once you've got it all laid out, then you start adding your dirt and hammering it in, what have you. Build your walls up to a uniform height. Then obviously we're going to taper down with the tires on the ends. End up pouring your cap. Put header beams across. I'll show it in a pic here. Put header beams across for lateral support and for support for the upper level floor joist, because this is a multiple level unit. So I went ahead and drew in some floor joists here. We might want to put a center pillar in it to ultimately, support the floor in the middle. It could continue all the way up to the upper level roof line and actually support the roof from the center. I don't know, like I said, this is just a design idea. Let's see what some people think of it. So you'd frame in the 4 outermost walls, frame across the 4 outermost walls. The upper level, frame it in. It's 8-sided. Maybe a little bit of cosmetic appeal. 8-sided. Why not? Anyway, your 4 lower level openings, I can see it framed in with commons for your roof trusses, and your upper level would end up being what they call a witch hat, supported by that center pillar. And then of course the 4 outer voids would be backfilled with earth. That's what makes it an earthship. Well, I don't need to tell anybody about the economics and literally the energy efficiency of doing that. But I went ahead and for kicks, it's stacked up pennies. I was thinking, what can I do a model with? So I went ahead and stacked up a bunch of pennies here and walk through those and see if you get the gist of what I wanted to do. So I'll walk through these penny picks here, and you can see how I've got the walls basically laid out. The next pick is where I put the header beams in for lateral support. Framed in the lower level wall. Actually, it would be 4 different walls. I'm only going to show one here as if it's like a cutaway. And this shows where the common trusses come in over the 4 points. And then your upper wall, again, it's just a cutaway, but there's our upper level framing. And then of course, have to put a roof on it, what have you. Then the backfill. So that's just an idea. And then for kicks, I've got some original sketch ideas I had from a year ago or so when I was first coming up with this idea. And of course I played with some floor plans or whatever. Here's a design idea for a 2-bedroom 1-bath with an upper level. I could easily see this having 12-foot wide openings at the 4 different points of the house, 4 different exposures, which I think is cool. But I could easily see those being 12 by 12, which would ultimately give you roughly 1,500 square foot, considering the upper level. So anyway, if anybody has done earthships, I would appreciate a response, perhaps to this particular design idea, and see if that's usable anywhere.